866-775. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And then remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team, when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today, as we do every day on Ron Siegel Radio. You got to find a good positive message every day, just looking at the news of the day. Let's see. Not live on Facebook. I wonder, maybe we got to have my trusty family here check that out for me. Today, October 26th, National Financial Crime Fighter Day, National Tennessee Day, National Day of the Deployed. Thank you very much for all of those that are deployed. National Pumpkin Day, Mince Meat Day. Got a lot of celebrations today, but I'm not seeing any of them that looks overly exciting to me. What about you? Tell me which one of those you find to be an exciting topic to be watching. I don't know why my mics. You got to wonder about the mics. Sometimes the mics just have the mind of their own. But we are checking those out. I am watching all of the different news of the day for you. There's a lot going on. Let's see, what markets. Yeah, interesting there. Watching the markets. They were down a lot today. Why are the markets down so much? We're going to watch that one for you. Let's just see if they're still holding at that big-time negative information. Yeah, down 727 points right now. Ow! Yeah, the S&P 500 down 72, NASDAQ down 203, oil down $1.14 per barrel. We'll see about that one. What is that doing to our gas prices right now? We'll check that out for you. Gas now at $2.16 per gallon on a national level. Here in Calizuela, $3.19.1. Yeah, well, we know. It's not my mic.
It is what it is.
Yeah, the gasoline here, it's just crazy. $1.83.2 in Mississippi, but they are no longer the cheapest price in the land. Trying to figure that out for you. $1.82.7 is the cheapest. Where's $1.82? Got to find that one for you. $1.82.7 is there it is in Missouri. So you got to go up a little north there. So Mississippi's at $1.83.2, Missouri $1.82.7, Calizuela $3.19.1. Only second place to Hawaii's at $3.23. So look at that. Missouri $1.82.7, Calizuela add over $1 a gallon to get there. But hey, you know something? We've got Governor Newsom here doing the dirty work for the state of California. We're watching that one for you. What else is going on? The futures market. Well, we want the rates. Yeah, the 10-year Treasury down 4 basis points, 0.799 as I speak to you. Germany negative 0.568. So we're watching all of those. Mortgage-backed securities are up, means the bond is up. That means interest rates are down right now. Is it going to hold? Well, we'll have to find out. We will be checking on that for you. What's going on in the news today? We're watching that as well. We watch the news for you every day. There's a lot of information out there. Obviously, the big story of the day right now is always about the election. And the story that keeps on giving, oops, we got a problem here. Vice President Biden, once again. You know, he doesn't do a whole lot of campaigning. He's mostly in his basement bunker. But that doesn't prevent him of having some flaws there. Because I want you to be aware of this. I'm going to give you the drum roll, please. And I quote from Joe Biden: 4 more years of George. Going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world, quote unquote. That's just from Joe Biden. I guess he thinks that George W. Bush is who he's running against. Fascinating, because if you remember the debate, the former vice president, was very clear on telling us that President Trump is running against Joe Biden, not against all the socialists that are controlling him. But I don't think that the vice president really is sure. Maybe he's not sure of who he's running against. Maybe he's not sure of what he's running for. We've heard him campaigning that he wants to be the next United States Senate. I think he's running for president. And I think Nancy Pelosi will be invoking the 25th Amendment the day that Joe gets inaugurated, maybe even before that. So we're going to watch that one for you as well. But what if it? I'm getting these interesting debates with various people on social media channels, and I shared something earlier today, and it's a very, very apropos comment. A friend of mine shared this. I did repurpose it. I will tell you that from the very beginning. Yes, I did repurpose it. I borrowed his analogy, and I'm going to share this with you right now because I have had this happen to me before. So when I had one of my knee surgeries, a friend of mine, physical therapist, asked me who my surgeon was, and I told him. And he just sat there, didn't say a whole heck of a lot. And I said, okay, tell me what the comment is there. Well, the question that he came up with, or the comment that he made, was, you've got the doctor in that practice who's got the better bedside manner, but his brother happens to be a better surgeon. And, I thought about that, and I said, something? I'm not looking to go out for dinner with this guy. I'm not looking to date the guy. I just want to get my knees fixed. I think I'd rather have the better surgeon. Unfortunately, they already finished my surgery, so I can't have the better surgeon. Now, let me ask you this, because maybe, and I don't know whether it's true or not, I have never personally met Donald Trump, so I can't say whether he's a nice guy, he's not a nice guy. I'm just throwing that out there. So I'm going to tell you that the information I shared was similar to politics, right? So Mr. Trump may not be the nicest guy. I don't know whether he is or isn't. A lot of people say that they don't like the tone that he makes, that they don't like his verbiage, they don't like his tweets, they don't like the things he has to say. And you know something? I can certainly understand that. It makes a lot of sense to me. So the question that comes up that I would have for this would happen to be, do you want the guy that you think is a nice guy? And I don't know whether Joe Biden's a nice guy or not, now that we see that his family, based off of his coattails, is taking boatloads of money from special interests, from China, from Ukraine, from Russia. Yeah, I know that they claim that Donald Trump did it, but all the evidence shows that he didn't. But they do have a wire transfer going from the mayor of Russia, Moscow's wife, to Hunter Biden. They've got a wire transfer showing that. So this is not disinformation. This is not a Republican hoax. When you have a wire transfer that goes through the United States Federal Reserve from a foreign bank account to a domestic bank account, you can be pretty certain that it's really happening. So I'm just going to throw that out there that guess what? That there's maybe he's not such a nice guy. But the bottom line here is I'm not as interested in a nice guy as a guy that gets the job done. Right? We saw that the unemployment rate was the lowest in history before the pandemic hit for various minority groups. We saw that personal income grew double in 47 months of Trump versus 8 years of Biden-Obama, right? So the personal income growth, that's on every single American citizen. We saw taxes go down for everybody. Yes, if you want to keep your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Oh, no, that was the previous administration. I'm sorry about that. Right, so should we continue on with this? We've got 2 crime bills that put people in jail from Vice President Biden. We've got 1 crime bill that let people out of jail that qualified under President Trump. 3 Middle East peace deals under President Trump. President Obama said our biggest worry when he left office was North Korea. It might have been tamed a little bit now. We haven't had a lot of problems there in the last couple of years. Not saying it's solved. It might have been tamed. ISIS, good results there so far. So would you want the doctor that gets things done, that has a track record of getting a lot done? Or do you want the doctor that may or may not be the nice guy? I'm just throwing that out there for you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, 2 important impacts on home equity. Home values projected to keep rising. 5 reasons buyers should pull the plug this fall. Things to consider on your credit report. There's a lot to cover today. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. The replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Trimming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. In every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star, they've got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are watching the markets for you today. Dow Jones down 740 points. The NASDAQ down 198 points. S&P 500 down 72. 10-year Treasury, the yield is down 0.4. And the mortgage-backed securities, we're looking at the bonds. They are up 16 basis points. Means interest rates down just a little bit from where they were on Friday. Why is all this happening? Well, there's a lot of questions about the COVID-19 cases, 83,000 new cases on both Friday and Saturday, surpassing the previous record of 77,300 cases set in July. While one new case is too many, there are perhaps some signs of improvement. The overall number of new cases is higher. However, there is also a much greater number of tests. The current number of hospitalizations is less than in July. The number of COVID-related deaths are declining with the rise of new treatment options. So here's the issue. Do you really, and I had this conversation with some folks last night that I was with. I don't know, we don't always see eye to eye on some of these things. My comment was, if we test more people, you're going to get more positive. If we test, and I'm not saying that this is not a serious virus. It is a very serious virus, very contagious virus. But it's not the same as what we were dealing with back in April and May. Yeah, it's the same virus, or maybe it's the same virus, but we didn't know then what we know now. And when you don't know, basically a lot of people get paralysis fear, right? So if we don't know it, it's got to be bad. Happens in a lot of different areas, but here we're talking about people were dying, right? So you have over 200. Let me explain this to you, because we did have a problem with Kamala Harris. She said over 230 million people have died in America. That would be 2 out of every 3. Now it's been 230,000. A lot of people. We're not insensitive to that. We realize that especially if it's your family, that is a very, very serious issue, right? And we know that our fellow citizens are suffering. We understand all of that. But the issue is, now that we understand, doctors, the medical world understands the virus better, they know they have different options for combating it. And that's why we're seeing that while the testing is positive, the curing or the therapeutics seem to be working. The hospitalizations are not increasing at the same rate or at what they were before. And the deaths, thank goodness, are not as dramatic either. So what that basically is telling a very simple man, that would be me, that, something, the more you test, obviously, if you had 5% of 1,000 people, it's going to be a much smaller number than 4%, say, of 100,000 people, right? So if you're testing 10 times the amount of people or 50 times the number of people, then obviously you're going to start getting higher numbers. I'm watching some of the lame Joe Biden commercials here in Southern California. And the reason I say they're lame is because they are very, very misleading, right? They're talking about the idea that they didn't do testing early on. Well, can I ask a simple question of these doctors that did the commercial? Why didn't you do testing? Yeah, the answer is very, very simple. They didn't have the test, right? If they had the test, they might have done more testing. But they didn't have a test. They couldn't do a test on something that you don't know, you don't have. So the bottom line there was, once they have the test, then they can go ahead and do more testing. You're going to get more positives when you do more testing. And as they've learned how to make these tests better and better, of course, now you can do more testing. You find more results. If you were testing 1 million people a day, and I don't know what the number is, but if you were testing 1 million people a day for influenza, I'm just suspecting that you're going to get a much greater number of people testing positive for influenza than go to the doctor, that ever get any kind of medication, that ever gets reported. Because it's the ultra severe cases. Just the same way, if a young person right now had COVID, don't wish it on anybody, but if they had COVID, they may not even go to the doctor because they don't feel the symptoms. They don't feel the need for it. I just throw that out there for you because there are so many areas where we're watching and people are going through and they're getting hysterical over these things. And I'm going to share something with you. You're not going to hear this anywhere else because a lot of people, a lot of companies aren't going to want to hear this comment. There is corruption. There is personal opinion, personal welfare in the marketplace. So I hear a lot of pharmaceutical people that are saying science will prevail. Yeah, it probably will. But when you've got a bunch of pharmaceutical companies, big pharma, that makes a boatload of money by people being sick, do you think they're going to want to get the solution right away, or are they going to try and keep it back? Are they going to continue the idea of fear-mongering? Right? You look at what the administration has spent. And I don't have all the numbers, but I think Johnson & Johnson got $1 billion contract to make the vaccine. And they don't know if it's going to work or not, but they still got $1 billion contract to start production. You've got Moderna, $1 billion contract. Pfizer, $1 billion contract. Probably AstraZeneca, I think, got $1 billion. So all these companies are getting all this money. Now, yes, they're doing the research for it, but this is big business. And do you think that do they have an incentive to keep the fear high? Or do they have an incentive to say, you know something, we've learned about it, and some of these generic drugs that the big pharma doesn't make a lot of money on, some of these generic drugs are working. No, they don't have any incentive to do that. Their incentive is to keep you scared. And I'm just going to throw that out there for you. They want you to stay scared. Just my thought. And I have no inside information on this. I have no inside information. I'm just sharing with you that, to me, and I've talked to some research doctors, and it fascinates me that I'll just throw this out there. I've shared many times I had bariatric surgery many years ago. I think it's 13 years ago now. The doctor I went to is a research doctor, and one of his double-blind studies published in the same Harvard Journal of Medicine that these other companies use and they rely on as the Holy Grail, had results published. 98% cure rate for type 2 diabetes that is in the first 7 years. 98% cure rate. He goes and presents to the endocrinologists. And you know what the question is from the endocrinologists? What is the cost-benefit analysis of your system? Really? Do you think that the cardiologists ask for a cost-benefit analysis of their systems when they go and they are developing something new in the world of heart treatments? Do you think the orthopedic surgeons are asked what is the cost-benefit analysis of hip replacement, knee replacement, and every other surgery that they do? I'm just guessing that they're probably not asked that question. But when this doctor presented for endocrinologists, what's the cost-benefit analysis? Why is that? Well, because there's a lot of money long-term in diabetes, right? You've got all the big pharma there. They've got insulin, they've got pills, they've got testing equipment, they've got glucose monitors, they've got the test strip, all this other stuff, right? So do they really want a solution, or do they want to keep treating the symptom or the result? Right? The same idea with Band-Aids, right? Or with opioids, right? For the most part, when you take a pain medicine, is it solving the problem, or is it getting rid of the pain? It's getting rid of the pain, right? It doesn't, your knee pain or your foot pain or your hip pain doesn't go away by taking a codeine pill. The pain goes away, but the actual item itself, that doesn't go away. I'm just throwing that out there for you, giving you that information, because you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, important impacts of home equity. Home values projected to keep on rising. 5 reasons buyers should pull the trigger this fall. Got a lot to chat with you about, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there's an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice. So it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have any real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest. They know exactly what the market believes about your property. They know exactly what the county recorder knows about your property. And it's a free tool from your friends here at Ron Siegel Radio. Home values projected to keep on increasing. That is the subject of today's real-time real estate segment as we enter the final months of 2020 and continue to work through the challenges this year has brought. Some of us wonder what impact continued economic uncertainty could have on home prices. Looking at the big picture, the rules of supply and demand will give us the clearest idea of what is to come. Due to the undersupply of homes on the market today, there's upward pressure on prices. Consider simple economics. When there is high demand for an item and a low supply of it, consumers are willing to pay more for that item. That's what's happening in today's real estate market. The housing supply shortage is also resulting in bidding wars, which will also drive price points higher in the home sale process. There's no evidence that buyer demand will wane. As a result, experts project price appreciation will continue over the next 12 months. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, or the KMET AM 1490 ABC News and Talk video feed, you're going to see a chart that we have that has the graph of the major forecasts released in the last 60 days. And these are home price appreciations over the next 12 months. Zillow says 7%. Zelman, which is probably the best of all of them, Ivy Zelman does a great job, 5.9% up. Freddie Mac up 5.5%. National Association of Realtors up 4.3%. HPES, the Home Price Expectation Survey, up 3.7%. Mortgage Bankers Association up 3.4%. And CoreLogic says up 0.2%. So I hear many foreclosures might be coming to the market soon. Won't that drive prices down is a question I hear all the time. Some are concerned that homeowners who entered a mortgage forbearance plan might face foreclosure once their plan ends. However, when you analyze the data on those in forbearance, it's clear the actual level of risk is very low. Ivy Zelman, she's the one I was referencing just a minute ago. She has some great insight in real estate. Ivy Zelman, CEO of Zelman & Associates and a highly regarded expert in housing and housing-related industries, was very firm in a podcast last week. Quote, the likelihood of us having a foreclosure crisis again is about 0%, unquote. With demand high, supply low, and little risk of foreclosure crisis, home prices will continue to appreciate. Bottom line, originally many thought home prices would depreciate in 2020 due to the economic slowdown from the coronavirus. Instead, prices appreciated substantially. Over the next year, we'll likely see home values rise even higher, given the continued lack of inventory of homes for sale. It's great information. That's the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. So I missed this part of the Mortgage Minute a little bit ago, talking about, as I got off on, as I sometimes do, a little bit of a rabbit trail there. So I had some other information to share with you. New home sales measures signed contracts on new homes down 3.5% in September at $959,000, which was slightly lower than the small increase expected. Sales are now up 32.1% year over year. The median new home price increased year over year to $327,000. This means that half of the homes sold were above and half below that figure. More precisely, it's $326,800 is the national average median home price sales. There were 284,000 homes for sale at the end of September, showing that inventory is very, very tight. So I just share that with you to let you know that, hey, you know something, even though there are some people out there talking about another mortgage crisis, probably not going to happen, and there's some of the reasons why. It's all statistics based. I don't just go out there and tell you, you know, this is wrong. I'm just going to throw that out there for you. It's not that it's wrong. It's that people just don't have the right information to make an educated decision. And every one of our millennials, love them to death, but they only have one recession that they've ever experienced, right? When we have our millennial duo on the broadcast with us, we talked about that just recently, that they only have one point of reference, which would be the Great Recession, which was caused by real estate. They don't have the perspective that so many of the rest of us have, that there have been many, many recessions in our history, and for the most part, they don't affect real estate, right? There's been some that have affected real estate, but for the most part, they do not affect real estate. So why would we expect them to happen now? Many times we've seen where in some of the different recessions that we actually see real estate take a significant improvement. Well, we've talked about that many times with you. So here's one of the other issues that I will point to where people are not don't have a problem with their foreclosures. Well, it's the impacts of home equity. Home equity is continuing to rise, helping American homeowners secure a much more stable financial future. According to the most recent data from CoreLogic, the average homeowner gained $9,800 in equity over the past year. National number higher for California. In addition, experts project 2020 home prices to continue rising. With prices going up, equity gains will also keep accelerating. Black Knight reported the annual percentage change in the overall median existing single-family home price has skyrocketed in the past several months, with recent numbers at 3 to 5 times higher than rates seen in the past several years. Jeff Tucker, senior economist at Zillow, just qualified recent price increases as, quote-unquote, jaw-dropping, and, quote-unquote, within a hair's breadth of double-digit year-over-year appreciation. Knowing equity will help enable many homeowners to better survive the economic distress caused by the ongoing pandemic. It's important to break down two key homeowner benefits of increasing equity. Number one, equity increases a homeowner's options to buy a new home. Aside from the financial damage of the last 7 months, there's also been a tremendous emotional toll on many people. Shelter-in-place mandates, quarantine requirements, and virtual schooling have all made us reevaluate the must-have requirements of a home to deliver. Having equity in your current house gives you a better opportunity to move up or build your perfect home from scratch. Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, recently explained, and I quote, as homeowners gain equity in their homes, they are more likely to consider using that equity to purchase a larger or more attractive home. The wealth effect of rising equity, unquote. If you need to make a move, the equity in your home can help make that possible right now. Number two, equity enables homeowners to help future generations. An increase in home equity grows overall wealth, which can transfer to future generations. The Federal Reserve, in an addendum to their recent survey of consumer finances, explains, and I quote, "There are numerous ways families can transmit wealth and resources across generations. Families can directly transfer their wealth to the next generation in the form of a bequest. They can also provide the next generation with inter vivos transfers, that's gifts. For example, providing down payment support to enable a home purchase or a substantial wedding gift," unquote. The Federal Reserve also explains another way wealth, including the additional net worth generated by an increase in home equity, can benefit future generations. And I quote, "In addition to direct transfers or gifts, families can make investments in their children that directly increase their wealth. For example, families can invest in their children's educational success by paying for college or private schools, which can in turn increase their children's ability to accumulate wealth." Bottom line, equity can help a homeowner grow their confidence in a more stable financial future. It provides near-term move-up options and creates a positive impact for future generations. In many cases, the largest single investment a person has is their home. As investment appreciates in value, financial options increase as well. That is the real-time real estate segment. More information on that. And as always, I ask you, hey, stay tuned. We've got a lot still to come. We're going to chat when we come back about 5 reasons buyers should pull the trigger this fall, 3 things to check on your credit report. How much money do you need to buy a new house? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Our house in the middle of our street.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today, Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and VCAL-BRE number 018694552.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by MySoCalLender.com. My SoCal Lender. They've got all kinds of information right there for you on their site. If you're looking to buy a house, want information on a house, it's all right there. So here's a question for you. Things to check on your credit report after coronavirus relief. If you are one of the many people whose financial situation has been negatively affected by the coronavirus, you may have taken advantage of forbearance or deferment programs from your lender. If you did not take part in one of these programs, here are 3 items you should check to determine if the information has been accurately reported to the credit bureaus. Number 1, check that your account with your lender is reported as current or okay. If your account status was current when you entered into the forbearance or deferment program, it should continue to be reported as current when your account is in forbearance or deferment. The CARES Act requires that lenders continue to report the account as current, quote, if a furnisher makes an accommodation with respect to one or more payments on a credit application or account of a consumer, and the consumer makes the payments or is not required to make one or more payments pursuant to the accommodation, and the furnisher shall, 1, report the credit obligation or account as current, unquote. Make sure your account is reported as current. Locate the account in your credit report and look for either current, okay, or a check mark. How the current status is displayed may differ depending on where you get your report. I'm going to tell you myfico.com. Myfico.com. That's the one I use. I think it's the best, partially because it's the only one that's coming from Fair Isaac Corporation. They're the ones that actually have the exact item on you for your algorithm for your credit report. Number 2, check for an AW comment code. Comment codes, also referred to as narrative codes or remark codes, are a standardized set of codes used by lenders and credit bureaus to provide further details about the information on your credit report. There are dozens of different comment codes, but there are a couple of codes in particular that may be on your report if you have a forbearance or deferment agreement with your lender. It's important to note that you probably won't see the actual comment code on your credit report. Instead, you'll see what the code represents. One code you should look for is AW, and it represents affected by natural or declared disaster. On your credit report, you could see affected by natural or credit declared disaster, affected by natural disaster, or affected by natural declared disaster, depending upon where you get your credit report. The AW comment code may be posted for indicating credit accounts impacted by natural disasters like the hurricanes, fires. Some lenders are using it for the coronavirus pandemic. What's important for you to know is that this comment code alone is not considered a negative by your FICO scores. However, other information regarding that account will still be assessed by the scores. For example, if your account is delinquent, the AW comment code won't cause the delinquency to be ignored in the calculation of your FICO scores. If your account was current when you entered the forbearance or deferment program, your account status should continue to be reported as current. If this is the case and your credit report is showing your current status as delinquent with an AW comment code, it could negatively impact your FICO scores, and you may want to contact your lender or file a dispute. And we've told you, don't file the dispute by pushing the dumb button on there. Do it the right way. Do it with a letter, certified mail, return receipt requested, with a copy of your driver's license and a utility bill so they know it's coming right from you. Just a few thoughts there for you. There are a handful of other comment codes that may be reported on accounts in forbearance or deferred payment status that are also not considered negative by the FICO scores. Examples you might see are CP, quote unquote, accounted forbearance, CN, loan modified under a federal government plan, or CO, loan modified but not under a federal government plan. As with the AW code, other information regarding that account will still be assessed by the scores when these codes are reported. Number 3, check for an AC code, Apple Charlie code, comment code. AC is another comment code you should look for, and it represents paying under a partial payment agreement or paying under a partial or modified payment agreement, depending on where you get your credit report again. While it sounds like this code could apply to forbearance or deferment programs due to the coronavirus, it is not the correct code to use for these types of programs. If you have entered into a forbearance or deferment agreement and you see the AC comment code, contact the lender or file a dispute again. The AC comment code should be used to describe situations where you have have an agreed upon repayment plan where the payments are for less than the amount specified in the original loan and not used for coronavirus relief program. This type of comment code is considered negative by the FICO scores and therefore should not be used for forbearance or deferment programs under coronavirus. So the big question, how do you get a copy of your report? Well, the Fair Credit Reporting Act requires each of the 3 credit bureaus to provide consumers with 1 free credit report per year. However, the 3 bureaus are offering free weekly online reports until April of 2021 to help consumers manage their credit during and after the coronavirus. And my annualcreditreport.com is one of the sources. As I've shared with you, I get mine on a regular basis from myfico.com. No, I do not get paid from them. I don't have an affiliate program from them. I don't get a commission from them. I should. But I do tell you all the time that is my go-to source. Myfico.com. I've got the better plan or the advanced plan. Why? Because I find that's the right one for me. I'm teaching you about this stuff. So I want to get you the information as quickly as I can. I want to learn about it. That's why I will let my balances change over time to see what each of those changes, what effects they have on the report. So if you watched or listened to our program last Wednesday, I think it was, Tuesday, Jeff Sipes from Blue Water Credit was with us, and we were chatting about, one of my utilizations dropped, and my score dropped. It should have gone up. So there were some other questions, and we're looking into why that happened, what other changes were made on the report, because we know what causes these things. So if something happens in a odd manner, we want to find out why did that happen, what caused it, what do we need to do to correct it. So that'll just give you the Your Credit Matters segment, again, brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. Got a quickie I want to give you here because I get this all the time. How much cash do you really need to buy a home? Something I don't think we're going to have enough time to even get that started for you. I wanted to give you a little bit of information because I'm going to be sharing this with a group of professionals at an event tomorrow, so I won't be broadcasting live at that time. But I do want to share this with you so that you have this information. So our question for that is, how could 2 people have both wanting a 30-year fixed rate loan and have different rates, even if everything else is the same? How can they end up with different rates and both be the right solution? And I'm going to give you this information on how that happens. It's very, very simple here. You need to look at it and say, what is the long and short-term goals for each of the parties? What is the age of each of the parties? I've shared this with you many, many times. A lot of people don't understand what I mean when I tell you that strategy beats rate always. Well, if you're an elder individual and you're not planning on moving from your home anytime soon, maybe buying down the interest rate is the right solution for you. If you're a younger individual who's more mobile, would you want to buy down the interest rate? No, you might even want to say, I'd prefer a higher interest rate and roll the closing costs and any other cost I can into the loan. There's different solutions for different people because each one has a different perspective. So I want to make sure you understand that. Strategy beats rate always. When you watch these rates and things on TV, they are totally meaningless to you. As always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean, who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.